Last week I caught the train up to Newcastle with my wife. The sales are on in the shops. Plenty of stuff up there with 75% off, and all I bought was this t-shirt. I hope you like it. I didn't want anything else, not a single thing, and that is not like me, because there was a time when I would have come home loaded up with bags of clothes, shoes, gadgets, you name it. But over the last 10 years something has changed, and I don't think it's just me. More over 60s are joining the so-called buy nothing rebellion. Although the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced it isn't about buying nothing, it's about wanting less stuff. And that's a very different proposition. The first thing I've realised is saving money is not the objective. So let me clear up a common misunderstanding. I'm not saying never buy anything. I'm saying I've stopped mindless buying of stuff, and I've started intentional buying of less stuff and more experiences. And there's a big difference. I'm not interested in living a life of deprivation. So buy nothing is not my mantra. If something makes my life better or easier, I'll buy it, of course I will. Last week I bought a new laptop computer because my old one was slowing me down. Last year I bought a 4-year-old car because not having a car just wasn't working for me. Now the thing is, both of those purchases have definitely improved my life. They were not made to impress anyone, and that's the big difference in my thinking from when I was younger. Back then I thought very differently. Now it just seems a practical thing to do. I'm not buying less because I'm a minimalist. In fact, I would say that I'm probably more of an essentialist these days. I make far fewer purchases that I regret, and I make a lot more that I have a genuine use for. And that's a different mindset altogether. The second realisation I've reached is that everything you buy recruits you. This is something I don't think gets talked about enough. Every time you buy something, you don't just buy the thing. You buy everything else that goes with it. If you buy a bigger house, well, what does it mean? More cleaning, decorating, a garden to maintain, repairs, more things for you to worry about. Cars, they need servicing, insuring, taxing, washing, hoovering out. A boat, a caravan, a holiday home, they all start the same way. You think, this will make my life better, or I'll be happier now I've got this. But my experience is all you really get are more tasks that swallow your precious time. Every possession asks for just a little bit more of your time, attention and energy. The price tag is only the first cost. There is a hidden cost in everything that follows, and those things can make you busy and overwhelmed. The older I get, the less I want that burden. I don't want to spend my precious remaining time looking after things that were supposed to improve my life. The fewer things I own, the lighter my life seems to feel. And that's why I say every possession quietly recruits you. It asks for a little more of your time and attention. And it's asking for that at a time in life when it's more precious than it's ever been. That's not even the biggest reason I've stopped buying things. I'll come back to that in just a minute. But first, let me tell you about something else that I've noticed. The thrill has moved. There was a time when excitement came with buying something new, especially that new car. The smell of it, the shine. There was a little rush of adrenaline. You bring it home. I used to leaf my way through the manual, show it to my friends, and for a little while it made me feel special. Now, well, that excitement has moved. I don't get a thrill out of buying the latest model of anything. Now, my thrill is finding a quality item at half price. It's buying second hand, or do they call it pre-loved? Knowing somebody else has taken that depreciation hit, not me. It's keeping something for just another year or repairing it instead of replacing it. The other day, I bought a new leather belt. It was reduced from £60 to £15, and I enjoyed that purchase for that fact alone. Well, notwithstanding the fact that I did actually need the belt. Why did I feel like that? It wasn't about the belt. It was about knowing I'd made a sensible, value-based decision. The thrill of the purchase hasn't gone away. It's just moved to the thrill of the search in finding value. And I think that's a sign of something much bigger. Once upon a time, you bought things to change how you feel, but age makes you realise You don't need stuff to make you feel good. Experiences win. This is the biggest change I've noticed in my attitude to spending money. If you gave me a choice today, I'd rather spend an afternoon walking along the cliffs at Flamborough Head, watching the puffins and eating fish and chips at the end of the walk. I'd much rather do that than spend money on the latest gadget or upgrade. I'd take that afternoon every single time. And it's not because I'm a cheapskate. It's because the experience feeds my soul. That gadget will wear out quickly and need replacing. But that afternoon at Flamborough Head becomes a cherished memory. And memories get more valuable as time passes. And most possessions do the opposite. I think that's why so many people start spending their money differently after 60. It's not because they've lost interest in life. Far from it. It's because they've worked out what gives them the biggest bang for their buck. It's not a return on money invested that matters, it's a return on time invested, and they're not the same thing. We stop trying to impress. As a younger version of yourself, it's easy to believe that success looks a certain way. A flash new car, the big house on the hill, the trendy designer label, the latest of everything. You don't even question it at the time. You just assume that's what successful people do, so you'll do the same. But somewhere after 50, and particularly as you approach 60, a quiet change happens. You start asking yourself a different question. Who exactly is it that I'm trying to impress? Because the people who really matter, your loved ones, your family, your closest friends, they really couldn't give a toss what car you drive or whether your watch can measure your heartbeat. And that realization is incredibly liberating. When you stop buying things for other people's eyes and you start buying them for yourself, and only if they improve your life, and they're good value of course, that's when you realize contentment is far more attractive than status symbols. Nobody cares. This so-called Buy Nothing rebellion is a very quiet rebellion. Nobody is marching in the street with placards. It happens one decision at a time. You walk past the shops and you keep walking. You keep your iPhone 13 because it does the job. You keep your perfectly good 5-year-old car for another 5 years. You stop looking because you know you already have enough. And do you know what happens? Absolutely nothing. Nobody points at you in the street and laughs. Nobody thinks less of you because the truth is, most people are not paying attention to you anyway. The only person who notices anything is probably you. You notice that you feel calmer, more content. Your mind is so much quieter, and not just that, the money in your bank account goes a little bit further. You stop comparing and wanting and shopping for stuff, and you spend more time enjoying life. And you know what? It is a rebellion. The world keeps telling you want more, and you are quietly saying, I'm happy with what I've got, thank you very much. Why not be a rebel? There was a time when if I saw someone driving an old Nissan or wearing clothes bought at the supermarket, I will be honest with you, I judged them. I thought they were a square, a dweeb, a melt, no style, no drive, no ambition, no class. They'd probably given up and stopped caring. They were a waste of space, wasting their lives, underachieving. Now, I have to be honest, I do look at them a little bit differently. I think they probably figured something out long before I did. They haven't become less ambitious at all. They're just more selective about what deserves their attention. They're just not chasing every new thing like I used to do. They're not looking for happiness in the next purchase. They don't believe that life gets better every time you buy something new. They know that contentment is not found at the checkout, it's found when you finally realise you already have enough. I used to think success was having more, that big house in the country, a cinema room perhaps, a BMW or a Mercedes in the drive, or maybe even both. Now, I think differently. I think success is living life 100% on your own terms. Needing less, not comparing yourself to others, not needing validation from other people. I think I've quietly become a buy-nothing rebel too. but you still won't catch me driving a 10-year-old Nissan. And that's the point I want to make. It's each to their own. I don't think the Buy Nothing rebellion is really about buying nothing. I think what it's really about is simplify what doesn't matter to you, optimise what does. Happiness is not waiting in that next big purchase. It's already here. It's that walk at Flamborough Head. It's a pint of real ale at your favourite pub. It's reading a good book with a decent cup of coffee and spending time with the people you love. The older I get, the more I believe you don't stop buying because you're getting old. You stop buying because you finally understand what you were really looking for. You know that happiness is never found in stuff. It is found in peace of mind and freedom to live your life on your own terms. So let me ask you, what if anything have you stopped buying? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear your story, because I have a feeling there are a lot more buy nothing rebels out there than you might realise. If this video resonated with you, watch this one next. It's 6 things you absolutely must buy after 60. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.